Hey, what's up guys? This is Andrew Mil-Spec with Combat Archery Training. Today I'm here with my buddy Anton. We're going to be talking about why we don't buy cheap garbage rifles. And also this applies to a lot of things, alright? I'm very simple. Block pistols, Air Precision's a great baseline AR-15. When it comes to red dots, I'll say just buy an aim point, if not buy a Holson. There's a lot of companies that make a lot of different things, alright? But if you're looking for that one particular thing, a pistol, an AR-15, a red dot sight, think about it like this. If you wanted steak, there's a bunch of places that have steak. But we don't go shop at IHOP. We don't go to IHOP to eat when we want a steak, right? They have steak, but that's not a steakhouse. You want a good steak, you go to the steakhouse. You want a good AR-15, go to an AR-15 brand. You want a good pistol, go to a pistol brand. You want a good red dot, go to a red dot brand. Now, Anton here knows a lot about kind of what's been happening in the industry. He's seen guns come in out of his shop, works at Peterson's Gun Shop, which is a place you should take your pistol to get sighted in, because nowhere else I've seen actually does it correctly. But I'm going to have him talk on things specifically that he has seen. So, Anton, you ready, man?
Yeah, man.
Alright, so we're going to just look at our rifle right here. This is, come on over, man. Right here, there's a Palmetto State AR-15 with an FN barrel. Alright, so, Anton, take it away.
Well, since we're talking about a Palmetto State, I'll start there. So Palmetto State, for the most part, is a good, like, budget baseline. Are they fantastic? Would I run and gun with them in the mud and the blood and everything else? Maybe. But if you do something like that, I would recommend build it yourself. Watch it. There's a ton of YouTube videos. YouTube University is a hell of a thing. So there's people that are knowledgeable out there that know how to do this. If anything, you can come see me at Peterson if you're local. If not, there are places like you can take it to a gun shop and say, hey, can you make sure I did this right? More than likely they'll accommodate you. The thing with Palmetto State is that they're very, very basic. They do have more premium stuff like the FN barrels. The FN barrels are fantastic barrels. I don't know if you want to see here, if you can get see the actual stamp where it says Fabrique Nationale there. That's a good brand barrel. FN makes stuff for the military, and when we say Mil-Spec, it means usually you can beat the hell out of it, but is it a really Gucci part? Probably not. But these things, the barrels and your bolt carrier groups, are probably the two biggest things that you want to spend money on when building an AR, whether it's budget or not. Local companies here include like Ballistic Advantage is a great one.
Roscoe
barrels are fantastic barrels. And the nice thing about Roscoe barrels is a lot of times they send them with the gas tube and gas block already attached.
Oh, that's good.
So that is a big time saver. You don't need special tools for that.
Hey, now let's dive into that specifically. Also, you know, hey, that's Anton's opinion. I personally would say if you're gonna get a rifle built, take it to a dude who builds them. It's something I see commonly. I hope I'm in frame right now, but it's something I see commonly out here on the range. Like I just had a guy the other day. He said he bought a rifle at a gun shop, or excuse me, gun show, and that thing did not run.
Kind of a turd.
At all. And you think about it, it was a dude at the gun show built it. Now, one thing I can just kind of like look at it and I can say right off the bat is it had lots of like shiny blue parts.
Oh yeah.
You know? So it seems like he's put more effort in to making it look pretty than building a gun. And if your gun isn't black or green or FDE or some sort of tan and it's some crazy color, it's probably not going to run well. I'm just guessing that, especially if some dude at a gun show built it.
So a lot of times you'll see parts like it'll have like a stainless barrel and like a huge quad rail on it. So that to me tells me it's probably a cheap barrel because it's a stainless finish. Most stainless barrels aren't that great that you come across because unless it's got like a name brand stamp like the FN barrel, it's probably going to be like towards the bottom of the bucket. If it's got a huge quad rail on it, it's probably made of some kind of like rare earth metal like Chinesium. So it's probably not going to hold up that well.
Hang on, is Chinesium an actual metal?
I don't think so. For the purposes of this video, that's what
Chinesium.
it is.
Hashtag Chinesium barrels.
It's cheap. It's really cheap stuff. If you can find a rifle that looks like it has like a relatively reputable barrel, the forend is kind of irrelevant because your handguard you can always swap out. That's how I built 2 of my ARs. I have plenty. So handguards are usually irrelevant. Like this A2 thing here, or A3 thing here, unless I'm building like a clone correct build, I would probably swap that out for something that's not plastic, because the AR-15 is the most modular rifle on the planet. So why would we not want to do that? So most of your attachments are going to be up where your support hand is on the handguard itself.
Now, I'm gonna cut you off real quick. Now, this rifle in particular, the reason why I have this is, number one, everyone wants a super tiny gun for their CQB stuff. And hey, guess what? If you're not getting paid to kick down doors and you don't have like a badge number or a DOD number, you don't really need that. You know, that's why I have this rifle, is I demonstrate in class how to fight with a 20-inch barrel fixed stock AR-15 at close distance. Now this rifle, again, this is, as you saw in my, you know, what does a rifle need video, it has iron sights, a light, and a sling. That's all you need on a rifle, and you should purchase them in that order. Anything else you add to it can either be a force multiplier or added weight. That's garbage. Now, I want to get back to the shitty brands that are out there and what they've been doing. One thing I saw recently. Okay, first when Ruger, again, it's kind of like going to IHOP for your steak, or somewhere else. I'm not trying to shit on IHOP. I love their stuff, but they had, when they first came out, and I was working at the gun store, I went to show a customer a rifle, and I was like, you know, 18-inch M-LOK rail, free float, Magpul furniture. I was actually thinking about buying it. So I go and I clear it, I rack it, and the forward assist goes flying out. And then it turned out we had several of them had the same thing happen. And here recently, I had a customer, he was shooting, and he was like, it's not cycling. Well, the problem was the fucking gas block came off. And that was one of their free float ones too.
Yeah. So speaking of gas blocks and Ruger specifically, one thing that Ruger's done is, if we look here on, this is the old school A2 front sight post, right? So it's your gas block, your gas tube connects in here, and you have your front sight all on the same thing. But there's these 2 pins here, they're tapered, so they only go in and out one way. What Ruger has done in their infinite wisdom is put these taper pins, which actually aren't even tapered, up here now. So the problem with that is, because they're not tapered, I've literally pushed them out with a pen. I've taken my pen and I hit it with a punch, and it sent the pin flying across the room. I'm like, oh god, they're not even tapered. So then I took my pen and pushed the other one out and just pulled it the rest of the way. Like taking your takedown pins apart. It's like beyond unbelievable that they would do this to the hottest portion of your gun. But the real problem with that is, now that the taper pins are at the top, there's a small hole in your barrel here, and that's what the gas tube siphons off the gas as the round comes down the barrel with. So because that pin is up here, you will get throat erosion in that hole. But now you have the pin cutouts that they're cut out in the top of the barrel really close to your gas block hole. So as the throat erosion happens over time, the more you shoot your gun, now you're probably going to explode your front sight post, because there's no meat there to keep it in place with those pins. So you're wearing the materials down over and over and over again, and before long it's just going to give. That's a terrible design. And then from an armor standpoint, they actually make jigs to hold these things out, because they press these in with a giant, like a bottle jack press or something like that, right? So they're pressed in. They're very hard to get out by hand. But they make jigs that hold the front sight posts in, but now those jigs are useless to get these pins out. Fortunately, they're very easy to take out, apparently. At the same time, like, Ruger's trying to answer a question that hasn't even been asked yet. Like, and it should be asked, because it's irrelevant. It's like putting triangle wheels on your car. You're just gonna be, you know, it's not efficient at all. But Ruger, Springfield, and that's probably gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings.
Oh, please.
Springfield, DPMS, fortunately, they're pretty much gone forever now, so that's a plus.
Well, at one point, GPMS used to be like a good brand.
They used to be.
Yeah.
Same with Colts. But now Colts, nowadays, they just can't compete. Same thing with Kimbers and 1911s. They used to be good, but now they're kind of trash.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of trash Kimbers in my time.
So those companies, the big name companies, there's dudes on an assembly line. And even FN. Fortunately, FN has a very good quality control department, because that's what it comes down to with all these garbage brands. They don't do the quality control. I could blow your mind with Remington's quality control and what I know about their assembly line. That's totally another video for another day. But like, I've had them come in where the gas tube isn't even attached. The gas block's installed, but no gas tube. So now I have to tell the customer, hey, your gun's not gonna work. And he's gonna be like, why? And I'm like, hey, I have to take your front sight post off, put your gas tube back on, and then reinstall the front sight post. Also, another thing, usually most new guns come with a chamber flag inside here in the chamber. So what that does, the bolt's usually released about right there, but there's a chamber flag holding it open instead of closing all the way, because they're saying, hey, the gun's empty. There's a big thing that comes out the side here. But what they do at the factory is they chuck the chamber flag in the chamber and do that to the bolt, snaps the chamber flag across the showroom floor.
Oh yeah.
And then you also have a big long 6-inch piece of plastic tubing inside your barrel.
Yeah.
So
I've totally seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen that when I was working at the gun store too.
So
yeah.
Century Arms does that with their AKs a lot, because AK bolts are very strong with a spring in there. So you go to take my gun out that I just got from, I'm gonna go to the range, I'm gonna put my magazine in, do that, and all of a sudden, bang, oh God, I just blew my gun up because there was a huge obstruction in my barrel that looks like a plastic noodle, you know. Terrible quality control. If you don't notice that before you put it in the box, what does that say about your company's quality? So that's one of the many things that we've come across. A lot of times
that also goes to say, like, you know, that's one thing I always do is I do inspect the weapons.
Yep. You have to.
Even if you got like a Glock pistol, it's brand new out of the box, you gotta lube it. What's up, man? You wanna hang out?
That's a yes.
But even if we got a Glock pistol new out of the box, you know, my Glock 45, great gun, I love it. You know, I love and recommend Glock pistols, but lube that shit correctly. I wanted to try it with factory lube to see what the results would be. And what I can report back to you is that because I did not go through and lube it myself, I had brass, not steel case, but brass stuck in the chamber where I had to hold the pistol by the slide and go to clear it out. So,
Can you do that again?
yeah. Okay, so as I said before, I hope I'm in front. This is a very keto video, but
that's
it sounds good.
That was a very precision clearing job there. I like that.
Precision clearing job?
Yeah, I don't know.
Now I'm gonna make you look good.
So, but yeah, so quality control is a big thing. As far as factory lubing guns, a lot of times they ship with like a grease, and that grease is not really so much as a factory lube as it's just a protectant from the gun in transport or storage before it is sold.
So, like, basically, check the bore, make sure it's clear. Lube it yourself.
You don't buy a brand new car without oil, do you?
Yeah, and function check.
Yes.
Now, hey, at Peterson's, do you actually take apart the guns for the customer if they want to look at the inside?
If they want to, yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Hey, because that's the thing. You know, when I worked at a gun store, they're like, "Don't do that." You know, and they're like, we have a warranty. I'm like, no, dude, they're taking this home to load up and defend themselves with. Yeah. So they should be able to look at the inside.
So usually, and this is the capitalist in me too. So if somebody buys a new gun, right, I tell them exactly what I just told you guys about the factory grease and stuff like that. Like Glock loves their like copper grease stuff, but it's only on certain parts, and it debatably doesn't last that long.
Yeah.
So more than likely, I'll try and sell you some CLP or something in addition to get you like a little like maintenance care package, because the vast majority of guns that come into the shop, they don't work, they don't cycle, they don't feed, they don't do this, they don't run however they want to because they're dry as hell.
Yeah.
So if you don't do maintenance on your guns, then it's not going to function right.
Yeah, and hey, check it out, guys. Like, Firearms maintenance. You watch my gun fall. you watch my gun cleaning videos. It's not that complicated, all right? Like, literally, if you have an AP brush, some shitty T-shirts that you cut up and use as rags, CLP, and probably Q-tips, you're fine. Like, You know, if you need to punch the bore, you punch the bore. But now, I want to get back to, we were about to talk about Springfield. Let's get back to that real quick. So Springfield ARs.
So Springfield ARs, because if we talk about Springfield XDs, we don't have enough time.
No, we're going to.
So, because I could go on for another like 6-hour rant about XDs.
I'll probably have Paul talk about XDs too.
Yeah. So Springfield ARs, what you're buying basically is different labeled Bravo Company parts for the most part. Like their Saint rifle series and everything, but it's a copy of a copy. Like the new Saint, like PDW or whatever, it's basically a Maxim Defense, is what they're trying to mimic. A lot of their higher end stuff is just like with their 1911s. Their cheap 1911s are pretty cheap. Their cheap ARs are pretty cheap. If you spend $2,500 at Springfield, you probably get a pretty decent baseline shooter out of the box.
Yeah. From a company that hates your freedom.
Yeah. Springfield Armory is, like I've actually been to the legitimate Springfield Armory in Massachusetts. Really cool place. If you ever have the chance to go, highly recommend it. It's really cool. But the Springfield Armory is not Springfield Armory in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Yeah,
I don't even
it's
know
not
where
the original,
yeah.
like people like to say.
They literally bought the namesake, and they use the same logo because they bought the rights to that logo. Their handguns are made in Croatia. People need to understand that. It's a company, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a company in Croatia that nobody's heard about, and that's probably why I can't remember
and
it.
Their M1As are made in Taiwan, right?
I believe so,
Yeah.
yes. Maybe the Philippines, I don't know.
So they got like 1911s and ARs that are made in
Now,
America.
the Filipinos know their way about 1911, I'll give them that.
As long as it's sold illegally.
Yeah, but their ARs, they're, for what you guys are paying for, realistically, using the AR-15 for what it is, it's literally like an adult Lego set.
No, what's wrong with their AR-15s? That's what I want to know.
Well, that's what I'm getting at, is you guys are paying X amount of dollars for something that you could build yourself for like a third of, or if not half the price.
No, pay him to do it. You don't.
Well, I mean,
you don't do it. He'll do it.
I'll do it for you.
He's done it before.
I probably did like 15 ARs.
If you don't build AR-15s for a living, don't build one that you're going to depend your life on.
So the biggest takeaway with Springfield, Ruger, and all the other big name companies is you have to understand what you're buying. You're buying like entry level stuff, and you're trying to do tactical or like really dynamic high speed stuff with it. It's not made for that. It's made to look good and work kind of good.
Now, did you see this too? When Springfield and Ruger came out with their AR-15s, did you see a bunch of dudes who have never been into having guns outside of, for the use of hunting or planking, they all of a sudden want an AR-15, right?
Yeah.
You saw the same thing. Okay, right. That's their target. That's who they want to buy their guns.
Same thing with like Leupold, for instance. Leupold is a shining example right now because what they're doing is the older generation of gun owners, boomers especially, they love their Leupold optics because back in the day, Leupold was like, if you had a gold ring on your scope, it means that you were like top shit at the range. Leupold quality is not as good anymore because they can't compete with everything else on the market. But what they're trying to do is, because the latest craze is moving into some kind of black rifle platform, Leupold came out with a couple red dot scopes for Picatinny rails. And they're trying to market a more tactical thing for the guys that actually unironically love to read the American Rifleman magazine. So I'm not gonna get on that topic either.
I mean, the simple thing there is just like, if you want good $4,000 glass, Leupold's awesome.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, their hunting scopes are great, but if you're gonna buy one of their red dots, and their red dots are very mediocre. There's actually a Forgotten Weapons video. The In-Range guys did a thing comparing Chinese-made optics versus American-made optics, because who doesn't like to buy American? But the Leupold red dot that they bought, they didn't send it. They paid with their own money. About like the fourth shot, the whole back lens fell out. Leupold sent, or they did the warranty thing, got another one, and that one broke.
Hey, but I don't think Leupold's ever done anything where they hate freedom or anything.
No. I mean, I don't want to shit on Leupold.
No, that's just a thing. Again, buy their glass, their long-range optics.
Yeah.
But if you want a red dot, aim point, Holosun. Like, those are the best options.
The point I'm trying to get at using Leupold as an example is that just because of the namesake, like Springfield, for instance, doesn't mean it's necessarily good. You have to understand what you're buying. Talk to other people at the range. Like, the biggest thing you can do
No, don't even do that.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you have to
do
take
that.
everything you hear with a colossal block of salt, not just a grain. But see what other people are running.
People who train, who go to classes.
Now, if you got one guy out there who's like Delta Dan, you know, he's like, pew, 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 pew. Probably don't listen to that guy.
Hang on. Can you give that one more time?
So, shooter ready, beep, 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 beep. Is there any threats behind me?
I wonder if I can
those
put
guys.
dubstep on that.
Probably. So yeah, figure out what other people are running, and if you like it, ask them if you can try it. The gun community, for the most part, is not very toxic at all unless you get online. So chances are, most people, even if you have to articulate like, hey, I'm a new shooter, man, that looks really cool. Do you mind if I try it out? And they'll probably be like, sure. Sometimes, because we're in an ammo shortage right now, they may ask if you have your own ammo or whatever, or buy some ammo from them. But by all means, try every single thing you can before you buy something. With an AR, talk to people that have built ARs. I probably got about 75 to 100 under my
Now again,
belt
I'm telling people, don't fucking build it. Like, if you want to give it to him to build it, he can build it.
Yeah.
Like, do that. Otherwise,
But again, I'm a knowledgeable resource.
You're gonna break your gun.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be good.
Yeah.
But all right, so if we're looking at buying a baseline AR, and again, why I say take it everything, you know, why he's saying take it with a grain of salt from people at the range. Like, yeah, try their stuff, but check it out, man. There's a lot of crazy stuff people bring out. All right.
Yeah, like stainless steel quad rail barrels that.
That and $40 red dots off Amazon. Again, you buy that you're throwing away money.
Yeah.
That you're just gonna buy something else later.
Amazon is not a tactical firearms accessory resource.
Hey, Big Daddy Unlimited has great deals.
Yes.
Great deals.
Yes,
but
they do.
all right. So if we're buying a built gun,
Yes.
a built gun,
So
baseline Palmetto.
yes, but that's a starting point.
Yeah.
All right. So that's like getting your learner's permit into ARs.
But hey, if you got the money, fucking buy what you want.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
There's no
So-
point. Don't buy starter guns. Buy guns that work. If you like, I got this as a killer deal. It's $475,
Which I
used.
but like 5 if I could.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they only had one at the shop, and it was like, you know, FN barrel. It was only $475. I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'm grabbing that.
Barrel, FN bolt. Palmetto is actually probably about 15 minutes from the FN plant in South Carolina, so they do use a lot of their parts. A lot of people will tell you all kinds of other things like, oh, there's only like 5 AR forges, bro. There's actually a lot more. But Palmetto actually uses good quality products, but you pay extra for them. So that's why. But good brands to look out for. I'm going to start with my local guys, Androcor and Winter Garden or Winter Park. I forget which one. One of the winners.
Link below.
Yeah, right. Link below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, y'all.
No, the subscribe one's over here.
Oh, okay. Subscribe there.
Yeah.
And then my OnlyFans.
Yeah, subscribe. Unless it's like you don't even fucking like me. Come on now.
So, Androcor is really good stuff. And they have all kinds of different options for whatever you're looking for. Small guns, big guns, whatever. Then Aero Precision is probably like the gold standard as far as quality goes. Spikes Tactical is really good. I don't like a lot of their stuff because it's preference. I think their quad rails are like Xbox Generation 1 style huge, and that's not me. I'm very slimline, low weight, run and gun very fast, and that doesn't accommodate me. But
insert dubstep.
Yeah, right. But they do make a good quality product. Their flare launchers are pretty dope too. Definitely avoid stuff like DPMS and, for the love of God, Ruger, Springfield, and Rock River. Rock River uses...
Hey, they hate your freedom too.
Rock River uses commercial spec parts. Avoid anything commercial spec. If it's not Mil-Spec, it's wrong. I don't care what anybody says. You can quote me on that. I don't know, what other brands you like besides like maybe Bravo
Dude,
Company?
no. My thing is very simple. You know, if you can get a good PSA, as far as my experience with this one, I'm happy. I haven't run like a bunch of them, but hey, you want to try this one out? You come to class, free gun rentals. Fight Train LLC, my buddies there, they got free gun rentals too. Do you do that with rifles? Yeah. Paul's not talking, but he's nodding. And then same thing with pistols, right? Free gun rentals. We don't charge for that.
Yeah, I'll let you shoot my gun. I'm on the range on Thursdays, so I'll usually have a lot of my stuff with me. If you want to come see me, bring your own ammo though, because I don't have any. Yeah. So I'll let you shoot my stuff, but you just got to feed it.
Yeah, right. I mean, all right. But yeah, Palmetto, if it's a good one, you know, you are taking a little bit of a gamble. And I would say put, you know, from what I've heard, put a Air Precision or better bolt carrier group in there probably. Yeah. And then Air Precision, I've got one. Again, you can shoot that in class. Yeah. Totally fine. Run the hell out of it. I like it. It's run really well for me and been really accurate. And I don't have, like, I'll put match ammo, but I got Mil-Spec trigger just like I got in that one. And I've gotten, you know, rounds touching at 100 yards. So,
I mean, I have my my Palmetto is almost the same. I have a different lower because mine was custom engraved in a group buy that I did years ago. I got the Knights Armament rail instead of the style forend, but aesthetically it looks almost exactly the same. And that gun, I put a Bravo Company bolt in it, a full auto bolt carrier. Full auto is a lot better because it's a lot more durable as opposed to a non-full auto. The vast majority of them are going to be full auto nowadays. They're a little bit heavier, so that's why they're more rugged. You can tell pretty much by the serrations on here if it's full auto or not. That doesn't mean your gun's full auto because you still need all the other stuff and a lot of paperwork and money.
Point out exactly what you're talking about.
So the serrations here. So the reason it's full auto is because these little teeth.
Okay.
So the idea behind the full auto bolts is that if it shoots really, really fast and all of a sudden that one round doesn't go quite in battery, the forward assist, when you push it, will push those teeth forward and seat that round all the way. And that's the logic behind it anyway, whether or not it actually works.
Yeah, by the way, that's like a thing the Army wanted. It's not needed. Like, look at Thunder Ranch's AR-15. It doesn't have a fucking forward assist. When I teach my rifle classes, you never touch the forward assist. In fact, I think a lot of my students don't even know what the hell it is.
No. The vast majority of the time, if you're in a situation where you're not literally in Beirut or some place that's getting blasted and you're in camis in a war zone, an actual war zone, you don't need a forward assist.
Well, even if it's out of battery.
Yes, even if
rack
it's out of
that bitch again. It's fine. Lose that round.
If it's out of battery for whatever reason, it means there's probably an obstruction in your chamber.
Yeah, don't beat shit into the chamber.
Why would you want to smash it in there even tighter?
Yeah.
So you're just making a problem that could be easily solved by just doing a even worse.
Now, hey, check it out, guys. So, again, Palmetto State Army, Air Precision, BCM's great. What about SIG? Are they good?
SIGs are really good.
SIGs are good.
They're like kind of like the Porsche of the AR-15 world.
I don't know about that. But
I mean, they're
kind of an IHOP, but they're making good stuff.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love SIGs in general. But SIG to
Daniel
me,
Defense. Let's just name brands. Just Daniel Defense is good.
Daniel Defense is good. They're very proud of their shit though, so you're gonna pay a primo for it.
I mean, Every One I Shot was amazing.
Oh yeah, they shoot really well. I've talked to the reps several times. Awesome dudes. I love them as a company. I just think that personally for me, because I'm a builder, I can build the same thing for a lot less.
No,
that doesn't mean
you're poor.
Well, I mean, yeah, probably. They don't pay me that much. But hey, I'm balling on a budget, man. So I do have an Andro. Mine's a billet set. I made my gun 100% ambidextrous. I mean, if you guys want to come out and shoot it, like I said, you can come out and shoot it.
Okay, we're out of time. So, hey, guys, go out to Pearson's Gun Shop, bother Anton, get your pistols properly sighted in. Come out here to Avery Training Facility, the greatest training facility on earth. I'm gonna make another video about it, but there's already a video I did with Trey. Train with fight, train with me, train with anyone, and keep fighting communism.